Refugees of war in a foreign country, failing to cope in a new culture. They had a home one time and a beautiful life too. But all was lost and they were forced out, leaving all behind.
I'm from Congo, Democratic Republic, and the former Zaire, for those who do not know what it used to be. Being a child, the life was precious. I never witnessed war by then. I never knew anything about refugees by that time. So it was just as precious. I never thought of a better place to live than being with my family right there.
My name is Aurelie. I came here with my family. I have 7 people in my family. My mom and my brother and my sister and me. I remember a little bit like a dream because I was 6 there. My family stayed there right now. Only my family came to camp and see the camp, and then I came here.
Surely I can hear their voices crying as they are abused and denied their right. People are making fun of them, reminding them of their losses, forgetting that they once been at peace and are now living in the next stage of life.
At the age of roughly 12, 13, the war broke out, the Second Congo War. And being away from the family, I was at school. I happened to run on my own. I hid in the church for a while. With my 4 friends, we crossed about 4 different countries to get to Zimbabwe. Once I arrived in Zimbabwe, things did not go my way. And I got arrested again during the time I was in there. Just trying to pass through. I got arrested. They were doing some other kind of a cleaning process, arresting all foreigners and stuff, blaming them for all the currency fluctuation and all those kind of things. They called me in the city to go and work out the paperwork to try and apologize to the government, but the negotiation didn't go well. I got kidnapped in the process, tortured for a week, and then deported to Mozambique. They threw me just in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest in Mozambique. But in the morning, I got arrested in Mozambique again by the park rangers who did not know who I was. They thought I was a Zimbabwean who's doing trafficking, so they deported me back to the Zimbabwean border. I remained a fugitive in Zimbabwe for about a year and finally made it to Botswana. In Botswana, I lived there as a refugee again for about a year in a refugee camp, and it was a rough place to be. And I could not adjust to the life in that refugee camp. Every hour of my times as a refugee, every hour brought its own challenges. So you learn that as a refugee. You learn patience, endurance, perseverance, hope, faith along the way.
When I was 6 years, I came to Thailand and stayed in the cave for the 40 years there. We came to Thailand because, the government in the Burma, it's the dictator government. They don't love correct people. They fighting every day, so we cannot stay there. So we came to Thailand and stayed in the cave. We became the refugee people. When I grew up in the cave, I know about the government is not good because the soldier, the Burmese soldier, when they met the Korean girl, not Korean girl, they really, it's not good for them. We never been to Syria because we do have the child, we are not the citizen. We are on a refugee, so we can stay only in camp. Before I came here, 2 days, 3 days, became civil war, They fighting each other. It's not safe there. They came when no one knows. No one knew they came at the night, something like that. It's really scary.
We had some maps drawn by hand by people in the villages and said, take this trail and cut through here. You cut through some rivers and find yourself here. And you don't know what you're gonna come across in those forests. Most of the time people always trying to know what motivates you to keep running and to keep trying. And that's usually people that you tell you until you get into the situation, you won't understand. You're like, I want to leave. I don't want to die. And that feelings of knowing that any second they may shoot you, any second you may die, you always take that extra step to try and avoid that danger. And that's what keeps you going. I still have better things to do in life than giving up and die. It was never my way that I survived. I would have died, I would have been shot, I would have been eaten by a crocodile like some of my friends. I got bitten by snakes and, cobras spitting poison on my face. I survived, deported and tortured and all those things. Why didn't I die? So I always believed that there was somebody supernatural who actually directed my every step.
But when we apply, we pray like the God. Whenever you put us, we will stay. We pray like that, so we came here. They told me like I need to come to Boise, but I didn't know the people here. I don't know one, so I don't know. When I came here, oh no, correct people, I think I'm very sad. I know nothing. I'm feel crazy. I'm scary when I came here.
But once you get on a plane, you have some packages you start reading through. That's when you see the name of where you're going. So I didn't know where I was going because the name Boise, I think nobody actually knows where it is. And by the time I got to New York, and that's when people told me that, you're going to the worst part of America, to actually the worst part. And I was scared and like, why? I say, you'll die over there. It freaked me out a little bit, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And it's a village, it's a little village, so you don't know what you're gonna find out there. On the first day I arrived here, I was already asking how am I gonna get a job. I didn't know that you had to go through getting Social Security and IDs. I wanted to get a job the next day because I wanted to move on. A lot of Americans didn't advise me that a bicycle and snow, they don't work together. And I had to fall down every day. I'm going to work, and it was just terrible. I learned that the hard way, that I'll never use you should never use a bicycle on the snow. At the time I was struggling with my own problems, personal problems, I still worked hard because I know that this is my only ticket to a better future.
The first time I came here, the big problem like I cannot speak English. I don't understand some people speak really fast, because when you came here you need to do it. Many things. You need to go to the agency, you need to go to hospital, you need to go to the post office, like that. So I don't know how to go. It's the big problem for me.
But the whole life of a refugee is just a day after day of trial and tribulations. When you're trying to survive, you don't think about anything else, you just think about staying alive. Now, once you arrive here and you know everything is good, you start thinking about everything else because now you are alive. So the stress, the trauma, the anxiety start coming back now because you are safe. So every night I go to bed, I will have a lot of, all the thoughts will be coming back, and all the things I went through be coming back, and my chest will be swelling. I'll be feeling like I'm choking myself out of air. Like my chest will be burning, I'll be breathing so hardly, I'll be crying in bed alone, and I'm praying that the morning comes so that I can talk to people again and start living a better day. So after having a nervous breakdown, going through the hospital thing and then start giving me pills and going through counseling, none of that worked. I still struggled at night, I still couldn't sleep at night. Until I started going to church and met some pastors, and the pastors, when I tell them problems, they told me, okay, whenever you start feeling the stress and those things coming back, just get up and start writing things, write them down. And that's when I started writing. So every night I'll get up and sit on the computer and start typing, and it started working. Every time I'm typing, I'm feeling better. So me and my problems, me and my past now found a way to be in tune. So now I have a reason to continue, and that will keep me safe and keep me healthy mentally and physically.
Two weeks ago, I had accident is really terrible for me. When that day I went to the bank and I went to the World. When I came back, I went to park in my car, but before I park it, I hate the gas. Maybe I need to hit the brake, but I forgot I hit the gas. So the problem for me is that I hit the wall. It's really big. Nobody stand there. It's good for me. Nobody. If somebody there, maybe I will kill some people. It's a trouble for me. I don't want to think about that. It's really scary now. I want to drive again because if you have the car, you can go anywhere you want. If you don't have the car, you can't go. I think somebody will help me. The God will help too. I pray for the God. Sure, the God will help me.
I assumed my family is all dead and I shouldn't worry about them anymore. I should just worry about starting my own family. And then out of the blue, Red Cross came up with a letter and said they found my brothers and sisters. And a year later, we found mom and dad and a few other kids. And so what was just, getting to look easy for me, caring for two brothers and sister, and my own life, now get a little bit harder, so it changed the route again for my, in my life. Refugees, they teach you that if you've never gone through trials and tribulations, if you've never slept hungry or slept in the street, if you've never been shot at or lost loved ones, you don't know how much valuable life is. You never hate anybody. You always trying to unify people. Whenever little problems and little tribulations along the way comes, like financial problems, you lose your job, you always have the heart of saying, I can go through this, and the better days ahead. The one thing that shocks me so much here, and every day, and I even mention it in my new book, is the rate of people committing suicide. I can't believe it. People killing himself because somebody called him a name, because somebody teased him or insult him, he goes home and kills himself. A bad day, a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year does not mean a bad future. And it's all just saying that everything got an end to it. No matter how long the night goes, the morning will always come. No matter how long your problems goes, the morning will come. Your problems will end, and the better part of your life will start. So suicide should never be an option in any human being's life. Troubles were there before the borderlines were even traced around the world. And they will always be there. But we have to learn how to challenge them, how to jump over them, how to endure them to reach a better future. First of all, the whole refugee kind of life teaches you a lot of respect, teaches you how to endure, teaches you how to be courageous, how to be, to persevere. It teaches you how to have faith. Yeah, I had a chance to be nominated from the city, from Idaho, to be the state representative in the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Congress. We got together and met with the senators, the U.S. senators, and used that experience in our respective states in collaboration with the UNHCR headquarters in Washington, D.C., to keep advocating for refugees and be part of the whole refugee community around the world. The main thing is first to raise awareness of all the little things that are happening in the United States and how we can make it better. And the second first is to try to include refugees into policy makers. We want to try to be part of part of fixing the problems that are affecting us.
People going home from their works, leaving them pondering of how they will get peace in their land. In the middle of the night, others dreaming of how they will buy a car, dreaming of how they will buy houses, dreaming of how they will get married. All he dreams about is the peace in his country, when the people will stop killing one another like flies. All he dreams about is when all men will be allowed to live equally.
The Thai people don't want the Korean people stay in the camp anymore. They will be sent there back to the Burma. It's very sad for me because if my nature fix some problem, it's bad for me because I'm Korean people too. If some Korean people face the problem, it's not good for me.
I'm trying to get people to advocate more and start writing, be part of the refugee body, and write letters to the congressmen and the policymakers to see if they could change some of the policies that they have in place for refugees. 5 years ago, when I arrived here, 2 years later, I found my brothers and sisters and my mom and dad. If the program was not suspended, I would have brought my family here 5 years ago, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. But when I found them, the process that I was supposed to bring them here quicker through was suspended. So many refugees are still waiting for that program to bring their families here. And their families are aging, and at a certain point, some of the children will be ineligible. They won't be eligible to come. So if more pressure on policymakers and the US Congress to try to reopen the process of family reunification, if they reopen that one, it will benefit a lot of refugees who are waiting right now to be reunited with their families. The main fear that I have right now is just that of my family. If I get the news that my mom, she's sick and she's bad and I can't be there, now that will depress me a little bit. And I'll try to think how to help, but I can't do much from here. If I hear that there is a war or violence in Congo, like right now there is elections going in my country of birth, and there is a lot of violence through this electoral process, and that actually worries me because I still have sisters and nephews and nieces down in the Congo. I don't know where they're gonna be next. I don't know what will happen to them. A journey of a refugee is never finished.
And as he gets ready to sleep, he cries again, "Oh Lord, I'm getting my soul to bed. I ask that you bless our nation. Whatever happens in this night, war or massacre, I pray you rest the souls of those that will be the next victims."